Shalom and welcome to the Africa-Israel Initiative. My name is Erik Selle and I'm the founder and president of this ministry that works across Africa and towards Israel. This ministry was founded in 2012 in Lusaka in Zambia, together with a network of African ministers. Together we decided to receive this vision from heaven, from God, and we have been pursuing this up to this day, in late 2014 as we speak. It has been an exciting journey. Most of all, I've got the opportunity and the honor to work with men of God and women of God all over Africa. You know, there is a verse in the Bible, Zechariah 8:13. It tells us that God was going to make sometime in the future, in the perspective of the prophet, that God would make the Jewish people a blessing to the nations, to the world, after there had been a curse around the nations. This applies only to the time we live in. In year 70, the Jewish people were dispersed all over the world. And during this last 100 years, they have come back. In 1948, the State of Israel was again proclaimed. The Jewish people were home. As King David walked in the streets of Jerusalem, today the Prime Minister of Israel yet again walks in the street of Jerusalem. In 1967, Jerusalem was liberated and came under Israeli Jewish control. That means that we live in prophetic times. And all this time, innovation has come out of this wonderful country. A lot of our medicines, our high-tech equipment, our computers, our cell phones, a lot of things that makes our life easier and better are innovations from Israel. And we know that there is a lot of these things that is needed in Africa. And in Africa, God has touched the continent with a powerful revival that is now coming into a reformational process in this continent. What Israel needs is friends. Friends I meet all over Africa. Wherever I go, I've been traveling to Africa the last 2-3 years now, in nation after nation, and everywhere I go, people love Jesus Christ. They go to church and they love Israel. It is time to channel this love into practical connections with Israel in reality. In the Africa-Israel Initiative, we want to provide a two-way street, a highway of blessings from Israel to Africa and from Africa to Israel. We bring business networks to Africa, and from Africa we bring church leaders and pilgrims to the Holy Land on tours that amazes the Jewish people. I will encourage you to come with us. You will see the joy and the happiness, yes, even the tears in the eyes of the Jewish people when we have 50, yes, 100 of Africans walking in the street full of love. And you know that you can see hatred and you can see love in another human being's eyes. And when the Jewish people see the compassion and the love of the African countries, the African people coming to Israel, you will understand that this can change a lot of things. We go to Africa and we lobby for Israel. And I think it is time for African nations to stand up for Israel, whether it is in the UN or it is in any NGO or global authority or places of authority. Africa's voice needs to be heard. I'm so happy to tell you, street lights, epoxy roads, fresh water, electricity, these are things that already is coming into Africa from Israel, also through the Africa-Israel Initiative. Agricultural projects, kibbutz, the way of doing agriculture from the kibbutz in Israel, where they actually grow the desert. Famine can be extinct in Africa if they receive the technology from Israel. And they can do that when they form partnerships in parliaments and governments and supports this wonderful tiny little democracy in a sea, an ocean of trouble. Dear friends, we work with a network in Africa that is changing this nation. We invite you to be a part of it. Every single year we do the Africa Revival Summit. It is our big annual celebration of life, of joy, of Israel and of our salvation. In 2015, it will be in this wonderful nation of Rwanda. It was in 2014 in Kenya. In 2013, we were in South Africa. In 2012, we were in Zambia. And we are going, my friend, all over this continent with our summit. You can be a part of it. You will experience firsthand the teachings of the Bible that shows you the brotherhood and love that our Father in heaven wants to be between his firstborn son Israel and the Gentiles that now is saved by the name of his Son. I invite you to join us in this wonderful ministry, and it will be an honor and a joy to have you on board.